Hey kids, it's your old buddy Shock Doc here with Shock Doc's tip of the day. Don't break into people's home and tickle their buttholes without negotiating that shit ahead of time. Otherwise, you might be known as the Butthole Bandit.
Damn it, my mouth is dry now.
Give him some meat.
Please. Or something wet. Surprise me.
Warning for underage listeners. This is an adult-oriented podcast. There will be frequent references to kink, sex, crude language, and various other grotesqueries. If you're under 18 and looking for answers and upfront advice about sex, please visit scarletteen.com. Also, for the dude bro listeners out there, this is nerdy shit. Go away.
Welcome to the Gotham Press Podcast.
This is a verbal orgy about anything like the Grafenberg spot,
The difference between Star Trek and Star Wars.
the finer points of throwing a pair of floggers, and just whatever the hell we find to talk about.
That said, if you have a desire to learn these and many more kinktastic nerdgasms, stay tuned.
Welcome back, Gotham Press listeners. Yes, it's true. We're still here. Hey, guess what? Greedy, do you know what this is?
I think this is an anniversary for us, isn't it?
It is. This is actually a recording on the day that we started the podcast. Yeah, I know. It's weird, right? But this will be the first episode of Season 4 of the Gotham Press Podcast.
I honestly did not think we would make it this far.
Well, that's just because you are ye of little faith.
Yes, pessimistic bastard.
We'll get Shock to talk to you about that. Speaking of Shock, I think we're going to try to get him on next episode.
I think that would be a good idea.
He tends to be a crowd pleaser when he's on.
Yeah. And with the better quality sound and the better quality equipment and the better quality introduction, I would say it's definitely time to have him on again.
Oh, did you pay attention to the last couple of episodes that he's on the outro now for the episode?
I actually have not.
You need to listen to the things that you record.
I need to listen to the entire episode. Yeah.
Yes. That's horrible that you don't.
Well, it's like the Marvel movies now, how you have to sit through all of the credits to see the entire movie. I just missed the stuff after the credits. I'm sorry.
But literally, it's the episode ends and then they go straight into that.
Yeah, I know. But I find myself doing what I do with most podcasts. I listen until I feel the content is done, and then I just clip it.
So what you're saying is you don't even feel like listening to yourself?
It's not so much me. My voice pleases me. Awesome.
You realize the last episode did not have me on it.
I know.
Oh, Greedy. Do you know how much of a dick you are?
I do.
Horrible. About our last episode, actually, the most recent episode that got posted up, actually earlier today, was from the tasting.
Mm-hmm. That was a fun episode to do.
That was a great episode. I really miss having a live studio audience already.
I would again like to thank our guest hosts for that night. That was such a kick to do.
Yeah, Dez and Mermaid, they were great.
Mm-hmm. Thank you again, Dez and Mermaid, and I look forward to seeing you guys again at an event soon.
Yes, and then our poor audience that were just stuck there listening to us jabber on.
Yeah, there were 3 women in a bed. I want to say like 6 or 7 other people seated around the room, and then there was in the next room a couple of scenes going on while we were recording.
Those were great.
Oh my God, that was awesome.
Yes, I agree. All right. But here's what we really wanted to do. For this first episode of the 4th season, we were finally going to talk about that thing that we talk about every episode but never really talk about. The intro.
I'm ashamed that it's taken 3 years for us to finally get to this.
Hey, we've had lots of interesting things to talk about in the meantime.
Yeah.
Even on the BS episodes, we still had interesting things to talk about. None of our episodes are BS. Please listen to them.
I don't think Listenerland knows that any of it's BS, so please, shut your mouth.
Okay, you can talk. You can do the whole episode yourself.
All right, I got this.
Do you?
No, I don't. I need you. I need you, Awesome.
Stranger danger. Stranger danger. Somebody send an adult.
I don't think there's enough adult in this world for us.
Oh, we are such horrible people. Oh, real quick, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, what do we need to do, Greedy? Where can they find us?
Oh, yeah. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and FetLife.
Yes, on Facebook, you can find us by searching for Gotham Press Podcast. On Twitter, you can find us by searching for Gotham Press Pod. And on FetLife, you can find us by searching for The Gotham Press.
Mm-hmm. And if you are somewhat old-fashioned, probably raised in the 90s, then you can also email us at gothampresspodcast@gmail.com.
What was that email again, Greedy?
gothampresspodcast@gmail.com.
So it's gothampresspodcast@gmail.com.
All right, now we sound like a cheesy attorney commercial. Please, let's get to the episode.
If you feel like we sound like a cheesy attorney commercial, go ahead and email us at gothampresspodcast@gmail.com to tell us how bad we sound.
You piece of shit.
You love me, man. You love me.
I start to question things.
Well, you know what a lot of people question? They question whether the Grafenberg spot is real.
The Grafenberg spot.
Also known as the G spot.
Oh, yes. The elusive G spot. One of my favorite locations to just hang out.
So you're just hanging around all the G spots?
We are talking about the bar downtown, aren't we?
Wait, there's an actual bar called G spot?
I wish. That would be epic.
No. We're talking about the Grafenberg spot, that sometimes thought of as mythical spot on women that will just send them over the edge during sexual intercourse.
It is an often missed spot, and unfortunately, most men don't understand where it is or how to properly pleasure it. Wow, that was awful.
It's okay. We'll take it out in post.
I'm thinking about the G spot. I'm sorry.
I won't take it out in post.
Good.
What was I going to say? Here's the thing. We're saying men don't. There are some women that still don't even realize it.
Yeah, that is true. Unfortunately, there are some women that don't have that connection with their own body or other women's bodies, which is really a pity. But yeah, the G-spot does exist. It's in different proximity for different bodies.
That's true. Hold on just a second, Greedy. I just need to say this real quick before we continue. Women, play with yourselves. Find out how to please yourselves so that we as men can learn how to please you.
Yes, and once you know how to please yourself, please tell us.
Instruct us. If we don't take instruction, we don't deserve you.
No, we don't.
All right, so you were saying...
Yeah, the Grafenberg spot was named for Ernst Grafenberg, a German gynecologist. Gynecologist. Oh my God.
The G-spot just has you all twisted and turned around, doesn't it?
Yes. I love interacting with my mistress's G-spot. It's fun, you know. It gives her something that it's almost like a need, you know. And making her orgasm through G-spot stimulation is just a kick. Wow, I've gone 50s. But yeah,
it's the bee's knees, buddy. The bee's knees.
The bee's knees. I honestly didn't know where it was until I was instructed by a lesbian couple out of Fresno. I don't know that I can shout them out on here.
It's okay. Shout out the information that they gave you.
So yeah, I got a tip. It's the best tip I've ever had to improve my sexual game. This lady tells me, you know, when I approached her saying, how do you please your woman? She says, well, easiest way to describe it is when she's laying on her back, hold 2 fingers, go inside of her vagina, 2 fingers, and then make a come here motion with those fingers up against the front wall.
And that will give you what you need. What she needs too.
Yeah. That's going to stimulate her in ways that she probably hasn't been stimulated before.
What was that where you said that's the O she needs?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes. It is a fun time.
So I wound up doing that with her, and I discovered that she's a squirter.
Well, I mean, here's the thing about squirting, kids. Many women are squirters, but they stop themselves because it feels like they're going to pee. You're not about to pee. Let it flow.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
Just
go with it. Just go with it.
This has been your health lesson from the Gotham Press Podcast.
We are not health professionals. We do not endorse or diagnose any sort of health conditions. So please, orgasm at your own risk.
As I say in my real life, I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on television. Don't listen to me. But I know what I'm talking about.
Actually, go talk to your doctor about it. See if they know what they're talking about.
Ugh, there are some doctors that are just horrible.
Well, go talk to your gynecologist about it. They should know.
They should. If they have a diploma on the wall from somewhere that says, some sort of online school, run.
Yeah, online correspondence schools. These are not where you should get medical degrees.
Well, unless you're trying to get that medical cannabis.
Okay, yeah.
The look on Reed's face was, is he right? He is right.
So awesome. Do you know any good online schools? This is not what we're talking about.
We are not.
We're tangenting down the rabbit hole. Let's get back to the G spot. Oh, that's actually a good analogy right there.
Back to the G spot.
This is something that, ladies, if you would please talk to your partners about focusing on the right spot for the right amount of time. Let them know when you've had enough stimulation there. It's like if she's focused on the tip of the penis for very long, it can actually get unpleasant. So,
all right. I was going to say, what you do is, ladies, the G spot is an amazing thing from what I've heard. Hey, I have to say from what I heard from women.
True. You don't have one to experience it yourself.
And also, men, don't just focus on the G spot.
No.
Ask your woman, where do they find pleasure? There are some women that find pleasure internally. Some find it externally. Some find it from not even that area being really interacted with. Ask them, talk to them, and then focus on these parts.
There's another podcast I listen to. It's Polyamory Weekly.
There are no other podcasts other than Gotham Press.
Oh, shut your whore mouth. Polyamory Weekly, the host of it, the hostess, Cunning Minx, she talks about how inserted stimulation is too much for her. Having even a violet wand, a magic wand, or a vibrator pressed directly on her skin is too much. So she has to have a barrier like a panties or shorts or something in between to muffle so that she can tolerate the stimulation.
Wow.
Yeah. So there are different needs for different people. So pay attention to what your lover needs and ask. Don't be above asking. Oh my God.
Don't be afraid to use your words, kids. Have we talked about the G-spot enough?
I think so. If anybody has any questions about the G-spot, please email us. Reach out to us. GothamPressPodcast@gmail.com.
Or if you feel like we have just completely gotten off on the wrong tangent with the G-spot, also email us at GothamPressPodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, if you think that we're totally full of shit, tell us.
And then correct us so we can correct it next time.
Very happy to correct and talk about the G-spot again.
All right, let's move on to our next topic. Okay. What else did we talk about in our intro, Greedy?
Well, there's Star Trek and Star Wars, the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars.
Star Trek and Star Wars. All right, so I'm going to take the Star Trek side.
Okay, I'll take the Star Wars side.
All right, so let's talk about some of the differences. Actually, let's talk about some of the similarities first. Both space operas, basically.
Yeah, both. Both have cheesy effects.
Well, it depends on which one you're going for. The classic series both have cheesy effects.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But for the newer ones, those effects they've updated with time.
Yeah. Back in the Shatner days, they didn't have Christmas lights to make it look like they were phasing.
I don't know what you're talking about, Greedy.
Oh my God. You do that so well.
I know I do things.
Okay.
Well.
Back to the topic at hand.
But I thought this was the topic.
Well, Listenerland may not catch the reference. Right now, he's doing a cheesy imitation of William Shatner.
Also, if you don't catch this, or if you don't catch Shatner, go back, watch at least a single episode. Actually, watch The Trouble with Tribbles. That is a classic Star Trek episode.
Oh my God, I forgot about the Tribbles.
Trouble with Tribbles. All right. So now then, what about Star Wars?
Well, Star Wars, again, space opera. It's an epic. It's a story about the Force, the light side versus the dark side of the Force. And
Midichlorians.
midichlorians, yes. Where Star Trek has their technology as the scientific basing, Star Wars is based in a mystical, magical force.
It was mystical, magical until the prequels.
Yeah. It was all well and good. Episodes 4, 5, and 6.
Yes.
And then they had to release episodes 1, 2, and 3, which
I
fucked everything up.
I thought you guys didn't talk about those.
We don't.
I thought the order was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Listeners that don't understand Star Wars and the way you should watch Star Wars will not get that.
Right, but the ones that do, they understand.
Oh, yeah. They feel a pain.
Yeah. Or here was my thought on episode 7.
Okay.
Episode 7 was basically a rehash of
Episode
4, 5,
4.
and 6.
Yeah.
No, not just 4.
Well,
4, 5,
6,
and 6. Which, I kind of actually liked how they did that to bring people that don't know in. Like, hey, here's basically 4, 5, and 6 in a very quick and dirty manner. And now we're going to move off to something completely different. Like ships that have never had to worry about power in the past.
Oh yeah,
have to worry about power now.
Mm-hmm. Now fuel is an issue. I believe that is because it is a current issue. It's a relevant issue to society.
Oh yeah, that's true. But I'm still happy with my Star Trek. We had all that stuff set up on the outset of it, so it's not just like, hey, we're just going to drop in these weird things now. Things that have never been part of the series. Oh. So let me ask you this, Greedy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Q?
Yes.
John Delancey. That man is great.
Yeah.
I really want Q to have his own spin-off series with Picard. Actually, no. Better yet, a spin-off series between him and Riker.
Okay, that would be fun.
Yeah, because I just see Riker always getting the lady, and then Q just, for nothing but shits and giggles, just fucking with him.
I don't know. It could be a lot of fun, but it could go the way of the dodo. For the diehard Trekkies, you'd probably enjoy that. But the general population, they don't know the backstory enough. I don't think you would have enough following.
Well, the thing is, they need to watch The Next Generation to understand.
Agreed.
Also, watch The Next Generation, kids.
Next Generation should be part of school curriculum, high school.
I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly.
There's actually a lot of really good lessons that you can get from cheesy sci-fi like that.
There is. So for me with Star Trek, I only watched a few episodes of the original series.
Mm-hmm.
That's on me. But I did watch all of Next Generation. I watched the vast majority of Deep Space Nine, which a lot of people will yell like, "That's not real Star Trek."
It's not.
Fuck you.
I'm just saying it's not. I'm not trying to start an argument, but it's not.
I would like to know why it's not real Star Trek.
Because it's not.
I need to know why. What is your reasoning behind this?
I reject your reality.
That is not a valid argument.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Well then, Voyager.
I don't think I ever really watched Voyager.
Okay. And I did not watch Enterprise.
Neither did I.
Here's the thing. He will always be Sam Beckett to me.
Yeah, he will.
Quantum Leap, kids. Quantum Leap. And I have not watched the newest series at all. I can't even remember what the name of it.
The Seth MacFarlane series?
No. I mean, there's an actual new Star Trek series on CBS.
Oh.
They played the first episode on on like live television, and then all the follow-up episodes have only been on their
pay to play.
Yeah, their streaming service.
This is why I don't watch television anymore.
Because they want money a lot.
Well, yeah, they make you pay for it because the revenue in commercials just isn't there anymore. And then they still fucking force those commercials down your goddamn throat.
Dude, all right, so I watch a lot of the CW shows, right? Arrow, Flash.
Oh, I know you watch those.
No, what I'm going for, though, is if I'm watching those shows on my Xbox,
Yeah.
there's a specific CW app you have to go to. Okay, that's fine.
Uh-huh.
They have commercials.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand you need money. If I'm watching on my computer, I
Okay.
can basically go through the commercials up front and then just watch the episode as one big block.
Oh, that's nice.
If I do it on the Xbox and try to do that, if I watch the commercial and I go back to a scene prior to the commercials, when it gets to the commercials, it plays them all again.
Okay.
I'm just like, but why are you making me watch these things twice? I've already watched it once. Just let me have my show, please.
Right.
Anyway, we got off on a tangent.
We did.
All right. So,
What's the next topic?
actually, real quick, I had a question about your Star Wars.
Yeah.
So, how do the Jedi keep plasma in that very, curved shape that they do to fight with?
Oh, you're talking about the lightsabers?
I am.
Well, there's a couple of different schools of thought on it. Where canon is that they use the Force in conjunction with the mechanical aspect of the weapon itself. There's other people that believe that it's all in the weapon, that it's not of the Force. You're making me nerd out on Star Wars.
Yes.
Damn you.
That's kind of the point of it.
Yeah. Anyway,
How did Mr. Solo use a lightsaber?
Han Solo,
Yeah.
that's where the fight is, because the claim is Han Solo doesn't know how to control the Force. He doesn't know the Force. He doesn't believe in the Force, which he blatantly states several times. But then his kid is imbued with the Force.
His
So
Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Well, his kid is also half his and half Princess Leia's.
true. So he would have got the Force from Princess Leia. Yeah.
He got the Force.
He got the Force. Then there's also the episode 4, toward the beginning of the episode, when Kenobi says the Force penetrates everything. It binds the universe. It's in everything. All the rocks, all the trees, everything. Yoda says that in another episode,
Sure.
episode 6. And it gives the possibility that anybody could theoretically use it.
Like Finn.
Like Finn, like everybody. But
Okay.
then there's also people that are immune to it. There's beings that are immune to it. So
Like the thing from the first.
yeah, from episode 1.
Yeah, the thing that Hidden Gian, he likes that character. I can never remember the character's name though.
I can't either.
If he listens to this episode, hi Hidden Gian,
Hi.
and remind us what that character's name is.
Please do. You can email that to us. I suppose he could text us because he has both our phone numbers.
No. He can email us
At the Gotham Press.
at gothampresspodcast@gmail.com.
There we go.
Or if he really wants to, he can get onto Facebook and post up the answer to that question on our Facebook page. So that way everybody will know the answer.
Yeah. Well, their weapons, they're thoughtful. They're creative weapons in that.
As opposed to the phasers and torpedoes.
Yeah. But there's also correlations to both modern and medieval weaponry throughout all of the Star Wars stories. The easiest line to draw there would be the lightsabers. I mean, it's the elegant weapon for a more civilized time.
You know the weapon I want from Star Wars now, since I've seen Episode 7?
What?
The one that the Stormtrooper had when he was going to fight Finn.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what it's called, but that thing looked badass.
Well, we should actually make one of those for the dungeon.
Are you going to make one of those for the dungeon? You say we, but it's really going to be you.
Yeah, it'll really be me. But what I'm saying is, I think that would be a fun showpiece. Speaking of dungeon toys, that's also another thing we talk about on the introduction. The finer points of throwing a flogger.
A pair of floggers.
Pair of floggers.
Yeah. Do you know how to throw a pair of floggers?
Oh yes, I do.
This is called Florentine.
Florentine. I love that.
I do not have the mechanical skill to do Florentining.
I will take on the task of teaching you if you'd like.
I would love to learn it.
Okay, well then consider it done. We will work on that together, and I'll show you a few different ways to throw Florentine.
Here's the question. Greedy, what's Florentine?
Florentine flogging is having one flogger in each hand and throwing them simultaneously in a way that they don't strike each other, but they do strike your intended target.
Now, is Florentine really a matter of beating your play partner, or is it more for show?
It's actually both. It is a matter of finesse and of tactics and of not so much power, but control.
Okay.
Okay. It's showing the submissive that is getting hit with the floggers, as well as showing any perv that's watching this experience that the top is in control. They are in total control. They have taken these utensils, these weapons,
These implements,
and made them part of their body. And they're doing a dance now behind their submissive or in front of their submissive, whatever the case may be, and giving something that's not only pleasant to experience on the receiving side, it's pleasant to experience on the giving side, and it is quite beautiful to watch from a distance.
Greeting, you sounded almost orgasmic while you were describing that.
Well, I'm gonna have to go rub one out. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, has your mistress done that on you?
She has a couple of times, yeah, and she's pretty good at it too.
Nice. Did she teach you?
No, she did not. Sir Cause taught me.
Cause.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him in a while.
I dig that guy. He did a demonstration showing me, like, I want to say 20 different ways to throw two floggers. You know, from cycling the same throw, lead and follow style, to doing opposing styles where one flogger does a gentle thing, another does a quick snap. It's very difficult to explain in words. I had a video of it on my old phone. If I can pull that thing up, then I'll show you later.
Actually, you know what, Greed? I just thought about something.
What's that?
Actually, I thought about it the other day and forgot to bring it up.
Okay.
We should make a Discord for the podcast.
Oh my God, we should.
We really should. I bring this up because I was in a Discord, and it was a new one I was in. I was kind of introducing myself, and someone was saying, "Oh, so you're out in Bakersfield? There's a community out there?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're actually pretty sizable." And okay, so what do you guys do out there? Well, from my understanding, we do a lot of impact out here. Mm-hmm. And she was like, "You guys do impact? I need impact. I should come out there."
Yeah, that would be fun.
Because I didn't realize until I moved out here that communities tend to lean towards a particular style of play. Like, I've heard that down south in San Diego, that they lean more towards rope and showing off that. I have no idea what they lean towards up north or anything. Do you?
I don't. I know in Fresno they've got a nice little spread. I know in the Bay Area there's a bunch of riggers, there's a bunch of floggers, and there's quite a big takedown scene up there.
So that'd be more of the takedown spot then.
Yeah. But again, I've only ever been there a couple of times for the biggest events, like
Folsom,
yeah, Folsom Fringe, and I think I went to one munch up there. So I really haven't got to experience the play scene up there on
the full length and breadth of it.
Yeah. But what I've seen of it, it's impressive.
Okay. So what we're saying is we need to travel. So if you would like to help Gotham Press Podcast travel to different places so we can learn more, just email us at gothampresspodcast@gmail.com and we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Because we do not have up any sort of Patreon or anything like that at this point.
Do we really want to go that way?
What, with the Patreon?
Well, I suppose that would help us with boosting our quality.
It would, but also if we got a Patreon and if people started giving us money, you do realize what that means.
That means we have to put up consistent episodes.
Also, we're going to have a lot more content.
Oh, yeah.
So if you do feel like that would be the way for us to go, let us know by emailing us, and then we'll get on that, and we'll figure out what kind of content you, as our listeners, would like to have. Do you want T-shirts? Do you want little toys?
Oh, my God. That would be awesome.
No, I'm awesome. But still, I understand what you mean.
Screw you.
No. I go for women.
What kind of T-shirts do you think we should do?
Well, we should ask our listeners what they like first. I mean, we have a design, but that's for the podcast.
Yeah, that's the host of the show.
That's the host. But I'm sure we can find others.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's task ourselves right now. We're going to set up a Discord for the podcast. If you would like to jump in and chat with us, we'll have that up 24 hours a day, and if we're awake, we'll reply.
Awake? Do we sleep?
I do. I know I do.
No, I do
I'm
too.
Not so certain that you do.
No, I do. Look, just because I'm having sex. All right.
All right.
Yes. Fun times. Greedy, I think we may have reached the end of this.
I think so. It's a short episode, but I think we've fulfilled our obligation to our listeners to finally explain the introduction.
I'm so happy that we finally got around to that.
I am too, and I'm really happy that we got the new equipment.
Oh, yes.
This just sounds so much better.
Oh, listeners, if you want to tell us how much better our equipment sounds, go ahead and email us at gothampresspodcast@gmail.com. Greedy, stop shaking your head because you want to email us too, don't you?
We need to plug the emails, yes, but I think 35 times in a single episode, in a 20-minute episode, is a little too much.
Half-hour episode.
Oh, whatever. So 1 time per minute. That's excessive, don't you think?
Have we actually done 30? Do you
No,
want to do 30? I can do 30.
No, please don't. Please don't.
Anyway.
I don't know exactly how many times, but it just seems like we've got one of those J.G. Wentworth commercials now. Please don't start singing their phone number.
I was not going to. I was tempted, but I chose not to. Also, Greedy, final thoughts?
I am all spent right now.
All right. Well, listeners, final thoughts from me. Go ahead and email us at the email I gave earlier multiple times.
Thank you.
If you would like to, give us any sort of suggestions on what kind of swag you would like us to send out. If you have any ideas on, hey, you know what? Maybe a Patreon would be good for you guys and I'd be willing to offer. Or just if you want to talk to us, because I get so lonely. So lonely.
Ronry, I'm so Ronry.
Okay, and that was Greedy's attempt at singing. We will hopefully never have to go through that again.
I'm sure it'll happen again.
No. Anyway, also, as always, kids, please don't break your toys. Enjoy yourself out there. And this is the Gotham Press Podcast saying we will see you next time.
Don't be a dick.